Hi, good morning, everyone. This is Uma. We are starting the session about the effective use of Tally Prime to grow your business. So first, let me introduce myself. This is Uma. I am from UHS Enterprises. I am doing customization and support to Tally. And UHS Enterprises, you all know that we are an authorized partner of Tally Solutions Private Limited, and we are an active gold partner in UAE, handling more than 10 years in Tally, more than 10 years, nearly 12 years we are doing Tally. And here in UAE, we have 8 years of experience, and we do all types of Tally, like we do sales, support, customization as per the customer requirements. And we also do web designing also, so it is integrated with Tally. So this session is regarding how to use Tally in an effective way. So see, some are new users, so they don't know Tally also. So some are the users. These are some are users who are already using Tally, but small tips like how to increase your efficiency in data entry works and how to show an effective MAS reports to the management. For those, we are given this session for our existing customers to use Tally in a good way. So I'm starting the session with my how to do the effective MAS reporting and small key tips to how to use in while making data entry. What are the specific options when we are doing data entry? What are the some of the options which is easier to do it? So those I will share now. After that, my colleagues will share with you about the browser access and business turnover details. So first, I'm sharing my screen regarding for improving the data entry works and MAS reporting. Is my Tally screen is visible?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am, I can see now.
Yes. Yeah. So this is the default Tally of what we are, the latest version of Tally Prime. Okay. So first I'll start with the vouchers. In the vouchers, specific some kind of 5 tips I'm giving just to make a faster data entry while doing using Tally Prime. So these keystrokes will apply for both the versions as well, Tally ERP and also Tally Prime also. So first, for example, anyone can answer. So I am entering in a sales invoice. I'm doing a sales voucher invoice. So here, suppose if I want to do a calculation and the result should come in the rate column means, so what can we do? What type of keystrokes we can use? So anyone know about it? If you want, you can answer. Okay. So I'll show you. See, when you press in the Tally in the amount column or in the rate column, either it can be a sales invoice or a payment voucher or any voucher. If you press all C from the rate column or in the amount column, it will go to the calculator directly. So whatever calculation if you want to do, you can. For example, I'm dividing the removing the VAT. I'm dividing doing the calculation, and the result of the calculation what I do in the calculator panel. See, in the calculator panel, I'm doing some calculations, and if I press enter on it, automatically the result will come in the rate column. This is where sometimes some people will not use this rate including VAT column. So on the time when that on the time of entry, they have to divide it. So they will start with the calculator, they will do some calculations. Again, they will come back to that and put the result copying the value. For that, instead, in the rate column or in the amount column, you can press just all C and put value whatever the calculation in your calculator panel, for example, I am doing divided by 1.1. So whatever I calculation I do in the calculator, and the result automatically will come to the column where I press Alt C. See, for in this, the result is coming to the amount column automatically. So this will be applicable not only in the sales invoice, any voucher type, any voucher entry. For example, if I am using a receipt column, I am selecting the bank and I am selecting customer name and amount. Here, instead of amount column, I can even press here also, Alt C, and I'll put like 3000 divided by. So whatever the calculation I put, the result will come in the amount column. This is one of the keystrokes which I use which will make us easier to do the calculation on the time of entry. The second one, so some of them are using like manufacturing vouchers, stock journal vouchers for the consumption. For example, when I make a sales invoice, so what for I'm giving a scenario that one customer is doing a assembling product. Okay, so when they do the products, when they make a sales invoice itself, they want the particular location, whatever particular that item, whatever products you want, that also to be made as a stock journal voucher on the time of entry of sales invoice itself. So how to do that is, so for example, I'm selecting one customer and making an invoice, and I'm selecting the product here. Once I select, here I'm saying one location I have selected, and I'm saying suppose 5 quantity here, but I want for this particular product, I want to make some assemble some raw materials or to be added for this particular product. So what normally what we will do is, first we'll pass a stock journal or a manufacturing voucher in the tally. Then that result, whatever the quantity is coming, that will be taken as a quantity over here. So the consumption will take back in the back end. For that, what we are doing is, here itself, if you press Alt V, it will be automatically goes to the vouchers, stock journal voucher. If you press Alt V button. So I'm see here one manufacturing journal automatically becomes. Again, I'm going back. See, I'm putting some quantity as 5. Okay. And if I press Alt V here, so I'm putting number, quantity, and whatever the location, 5. If I have some BOM, so automatically the list of BOMs will come. So for example, I'm just making some bill of materials for the same product. So for example, name of product, I'm enabling F12 and put some BOM. So I am enabling this bill of materials also. So I am making some products. So default for 1 kg, these are the materials I'm taking. So one BOM also I said. So once I selected this BOM, automatically the location items will come. So I am again rolling back from here. I press Alt B. See, the item is already selected. The BOM is also selected. Main location, I'm just pressing where the product is. I am putting the quantity as 50. So for that, automatically the raw materials, what is the consumption, it is automatically comes. So I'm just putting what are the rates. If an item is already exists with the stock, the rate will come automatically. Just save it. So see, automatically this quantity comes here. Then you can press here. So in the one entry itself, you are making a raw material consumption also, as well as finished goods also consumed. Consumption is production is already made, and now you are doing a sales invoice also to close this particular sales entry. So this is one keystroke when you are making a sales invoice. When you press Alt V in the quantity column of an item, automatically it goes to a manufacturing voucher or a stock journal voucher. So you can make the material consumption there itself. If you did not make any manufacturing entry, manufacturing voucher type before, it will go to the stock journal. There you can mention all the list of raw materials you required and what is the production of this particular goods for making the sales invoice. So one entry you can make manufacturing as well as sales invoice also. This is one of the keystrokes. Then the third one, when you're making a normally payments, receipts and all. Okay. For example, I'm doing one payment entry. And I'm making one narration. That is, this keystroke is repeating the same narration what you have given for earlier for the same customer. Okay. So I make two different narrations for two different customers. Okay. The two keystrokes what we can use is when you select the next entry. For example, I'm selecting this customer and I'm putting the var entry here. In the narration, if I put Control plus R, if you press Control R, the last narration, what you had given, the before last entry, what you had given, that narration will pull up. And if you press instead Control R will give you the last narration, and if you press Alt R, this will give this particular customer's last narration. I think it's clear. That is, there are two keystrokes over here, Control R and this Alt R. Control R means the last narration, the previous voucher, and Alt plus R means the narration of that particular customer or particular ledger what you have selected here. For that, whatever the narration you have feeded here, it will come. So Control R means last entry's voucher, and if it is Alt R means ledger's last narration, it will come. This is one of the keystrokes. Then last one is so when you're typing a continuous number of lines, when you're making an invoice or a payment or something, I'm making an invoice. How to remove a line when the time of entry? So some of the narration also I had given. Suppose in these 4 lines of entry, if you want to remove a particular line, for example, you don't want this particular line to be in the entry means, if you press Control D, this particular line will be removed. That means it does not mean that particular item will be deleted. In this particular entry, this particular item will be removed from this list. That's it. This applicable for all everywhere. If you have a multiple line of entries, if you want to remove that, you can just press Control D. For example, here in this line, if I don't want this particular line, means if you press Control D, this particular line will be removed. But if you ask me, is it possible can I insert a particular line in between lines, means it is not possible. Only just removing a line is available in Tally. See, this is some of the keystrokes which we are helpful for while making data entry. So if you have any doubts, you can unmute and ask me. So no doubt. Or you have any specific keystroke, if you want also, you can tell me. Okay, then I'll proceed with the next topic. So how to use an effective MIS reports, whatever in, so everyone we know specific reports in Tally, for example, balance sheet or P&L, how to receive stock summary, display if you go to trial balance, day books, everything we would have seen in Tally. But inside the reports, there are some specific key points, specific columns we have not used it. We don't know how to use it also. So first one, I in this session I'll show you is a profit and loss account or any summary report. We can use a columnar wise reporting. For example, I am taking one stock summary or a profit and loss account. Okay, here this is a particular data from 1st January to 31st August data. In this, if I want to take a particular column wise, for example, I want to take it like monthly, what is my profit? So I can just create, we have 3 column options here. Create new column, alter column, auto column. So if I press auto column, automatically we can select it whether it is create a new column or sorry daily or monthly or fortnightly, whatever we want, you can select. If you select here auto column, you have options like, for example, if you take monthly or daily, we select monthly, so monthly these columns are coming. See, automatically Tally takes the report in a columnar basis based on the selections what we have given in the auto column. Suppose in this month I have, okay, Jan, Feb, March, multiple data are coming here. If I don't want this particular column alone, not to see me, if you press delete column, this column will be moved. See, now if you see June data will not be there. This is for just for in this particular report. If you remove that particular column, that column will be removed and other columns will be displayed. And instead of this column, instead of 1st December, I want a different date for it. So we can go for alter column. Just press alter column and I'll say 1/6/36. See, this column will be replaced with the whatever the new information you had given with the date, or if you want a different currency also, you can make it. Or I am create a new column with a different currency, I want to show the report, means I'll press Alt C and I'll press from 1st one to 31st August. Instead of base currency, I'm taking USD as the value at what a conversion rate, whatever the conversion rate, I'll put it. So for example, I put like 31 January only for USD. This is the value. What is the valuation, including post date or without post date? So I'll tell what is actual. So see, this particular report I am getting with US dollars. So this column report is like not only dates, even on what currency we want and what exchange rate you can mention here. New column is you can create a new column, and alter means the existing column what you created, you can alter it with a different column, date or currency information. And if you don't want that column in the report to display, means delete column. Auto column means automatically specific periods, whatever you are giving, daily, monthly or fortnightly or yearly, if you give, automatically it will show the report in the column based on that. This is example I showed you in profit and loss. Even if you take stock summary, if you press auto column or I create a new column, I'm from this particular date to this particular date, I'm checking on the base currency. one particular stock group I'm comparing with the other stock group means I'm taking like finished goods, material finish. So this is one group and this is another group. And if you want, okay, I'm taking from stock summary, I'm taking one finished good and I'm comparing with the semi-finished good. So 31 January, current year's AED, I'm creating with the semi-finished good. So what is stock in hand? So see, I can see comparison between this particular location and this one. Columnar is just a comparison for comparing the reports in different ways. So if I want to alter this column, instead of this, in this I am comparing with 1st February to 28th February also. So like this also I can compare it. Here instead of in the stock validation, instead of default, if I want in the FIFO method also, you can select FIFO method and you can see it. If you want to compare with sales orders outstanding, if you want to compare with the purchase order outstanding also, you can use alter column and you can select this method here in the type of values which you want to compare it. So the same way you can see in the trial balance also, if you go to display and see the trial balance, here also you can see column, create column, alter column, alter column. So I'm putting an alter column, I'm putting half yearly, so total also, yes. See this is the total one and this is the first half of the year, the second half of the year. But if in the day book or voucher registers like purchase registers, payment registers, here and all you cannot see these columns because these are voucher entry screens. Here that you cannot compare it. So this column report is not available over here in the day book or voucher registers. But we have another columnar report called in the account book. If you go for a particular sales register, I am selecting the sales register here. From here, if you want to make a columnar, so for example, how much is the sales amount and how much is the VAT amount, I want to see the columnar report here. Means you press just the right side, there is a button called columnar. If you click here and you can see whatever the additional information other than voucher number and voucher type, if you want your partner narrations to be seen or voucher narration to be seen, or the order details like order number, order details, if you want, you can press whatever the options you require. You can press here, yes, quantity, and you want all the rates. And one column means it will show all the items in one column. And if you want all the ledger means you can specific ledger if you want. If you want only VAT ledger to be shown means you can select VAT ledger only show. If you give end of list, it will automatically split into multiple columns based on the ledger. See, first my date, particulars, voucher type, voucher number, order number, date, payment terms, delivery terms, destinations, and quantity information what we have given here. And other than this, what is the ledgers we have used on the time of entry? Here we use service charges, local supplier, and I used sales ledger here, and I used VAT at 5% ledger over here. So this will help you to, when you comparing your VAT forms and this one, what is the VAT of the sales entries, you can compare it with this value also. So in the voucher registers, we have only this type of columns we can have. Comparison we cannot do. And the other point is, in the same sales register, we have another report called extract. So many of them don't know how to use this. What is the point of extract means? In a particular month or a particular period, I want to know how much I sell for specific customers. What is my sale value for all the customers? So I can use the extract report of the sales register. So there is a button on the right side called extract. See, if you press extract, see this one here, it will show salesman. If you bifurcated with the salesman, the grouping, it will show what is the salesman and what is the sales of that particular customer. So you said particular this customer and what is the sales of this customer. It will show as a consolidated report of the same sales register. For the same register, for the same sales register, instead of customers, I want what are the items total value I sold. The same, you can use the same extract. You press extract, and if you press Alt F8, here again if you put change view and you give inventory wise extract. So inventory wise, what are the items you sold? It will show here. So this is applicable for not only for sales. Any purchase register if you see, or in a stock journal if you see, you can see the same inventory wise extract also, customer wise extract also. Just pressing the extract button. So for example, I'm saying writing one report. I'm changing the words to extract. So see, this is customer salesman wise sales report. And here, if I press Alt F1 for details, it will show what are the under the salesman, what are the customers sold also. And here I can see the VAT amount also, how much it is. So whatever the ledgers, it will consolidate and show you. The same way, here also there is an extract button. If you press change view and if you press inventory wise extract, it will show the inventory wise what are the materials we have made sales for this for this particular period. This is one of the mode of inventory wise extract. Next one, and normally we would have seen this outstandings of the customer side in the statements of accounts. Outstandings, you can see receivables means all the receivables. So all the receivables we can see here, right? And if you are taking the payables, payables will be listed. Ledger means normal ledgers customers will be shown, and for the group specific either all your customers under grouping this will be shown, and if it is any specific salesman you want to see, you can select it by the salesman also. Here normally when we communicate with our existing customers, no, they were asking about one particular salesman. I want the list of all the sales invoices pending for this related salesman's customers report. For that, you have to go to group and you select any specific salesman. There is a button on the right side called ledger wise bills. So if you give ledger wise bills, so it's one matter. I'm taking another one. This is a lot of customers are there. If you take ledger wise bills, see this particular salesman, all the it's related all the customers and the pending invoices of that particular salesman, it will be listed here. You can, when they were going out for collection, or you can take a printout of this and compare it for making some payment collection. So ledger wise bills is available in this group by sales outstanding report. If you press in the sales outstanding, there is a button on the right side called ledger wise bills. Or you want only entirely a bill wise means just if you press bill wise, it will show without any bifurcation. It will show all the customers invoices for that particular salesman. But if you want each party wise, what are the bills outstanding means, if you have to select the salesman, you put ledger wise bill, it will show bifurcated for each customer what are the bills outstanding. And the next one we can show you is payment performance of a single customer. So normally we would know we are making ledgers. For example, we are taking one sales invoice. Sorry, one customer's vouchers report. So I'm taking from one to this particular. So there are a lot of entries over here. Based on this, I want to know the payment performance of this particular customer. In how many days they have paid me, how many overdues they have taken. So one customers, what is the payment performance if you want to see me. So if you plus change view, here there is a option called payment performance. In ERP 9 also we have in the F12 there is a ledger payment performance. So if you click here, it will show in how many days for a particular invoice, in how many days it was cleared, and what is the due date, and what is the overdue days are taken also. I am checking some bigger data. So here, if you press change view, and you can see show more, and I'll select payment performance. So see in how many days they are paying us against the cleared bills also, and which is still pending also, it will show here. So this will help us to helpful for making the payment collections in effective way. So how many days we are getting in overdays, the total number of days, payment performance by based on the closing balance and the total value is the number of days. It will show you the consolidated value, and for each bill wise in how many days they are paying, we will get a report about it. This is the ledger payment performance in Tally. So how we can take it? Normally you can go to the display, account book, ledger, and select the relevant person customer name and press change view and put show more and give payment performance. This will give you the ledger payment performance of the particular customer. Salesman maintenance in Tally. The next one we can show is, see normally in every customer in will maintain in two methods. One is okay. There are two methods in Tally. One we can use it cost center. Another one is we can use in the group ledger itself. What is the difference? Why we have to use in cost center? Why we have to use in group and ledger means, for example, if a customer is handled by always by only one salesman means you can create in the group itself. That means in the group master you create like in the group define. So we have defined already. For example, this one. If you create like this, so that particular one customer will be handled by this only, this salesman only. Then group use default Tally group itself. But if a customer is will, if it is a counter sales, or if it is a any salesman will be used by for a particular customer, on those case use cost center. That is the difference between why we have to use group, why we have to use cost center means this is the main difference. If a customer is maintained by only one salesman means use Tally's default grouping itself. If a customer is handled by multiple salesmen means use cost centers. So the creation of cost centers on ledgers, everything is already in Tally. Like group, if you use for group, if you are taking as cost center means you have to create in the cost center. And if you are using a group means you can define in the master that this one customer means automatically here itself in the under grouping you can define it who were the salesmen here. So automatically when you make an entry in this particular customer, this will go to that particular particular salesman automatically. But when you use cost center in the voucher, you have to define it. I am enabling this cost center option. For each sales invoice, you have to define who is the salesman here. See here, you have to select the salesman here. So I'm creating one salesman called cost centers ABC salesman ABC. I'm selecting one salesman. So on the time of entry, I have to give the salesman manually on every entry. So list of call centers I have to. So I have to, once you select this particular salesman, then I'm doing one entry. Once you make this, sorry. So I made in this particular salesman report. For if you are using a group in the if you are using a Tally default grouping options is available everywhere. If you see profit and loss account, sorry, if you take in the balance sheet, you can see current assets. You select the sundry data means this each salesman wise it will automatically show. And if you take the outstanding also, if you go to display statements of accounts and you take outstanding, and if you select the group, this particular group related outstanding report as I shown below, it will show here. But if you're taking for cost, using cost centers for as a salesman report, we have only this option in Tally display in the statements of accounts. We have cost center. Here you can see each cost center wise what is the breakup. For example, I made an invoice in the name of Bala. So what is the Bala's outstanding? It will show here. Why it is not this list is this value is not listing means we have to give cost centers are applicable in the ledger. For example, this entry I made, this sales ledger has to be given cost centers are applicable. If you press Control I in the entry screen, in the master screen, I had to give cost center as applicable to be yes. So if I given yes in the particular sales ledgers only, it will reflect in the salesman name. We go to display statements of accounts. If I go to cost centers, I'll say cost center breakup and I'll say Bala. See, this will reflect automatically sales. In the same way, if you want your the customer master also to be enabled, cost center means in the entry. See, for example, here in the entry customer name, you have to give more details and give cost center applicability as yes. Then only it will affect. I'm just changing the mode because I already made and I'm given the value. That's why it is not taking. So it is not applicable for me. So we have to do from the main screen. Display statements of accounts, cost center breakup. Now here it is not listing. This will check it out. What is the problem? Normally, even the outstanding, the customers also it will list out here. If there is any outstanding, that will also list here. Then whenever you make receipt also, you have to mention the same cost center names. Then only it will list out in the customer name. Next, I'll go for the stock summary. When you see this stock summary, no, many of them were asking this question. In the stock summary, it is listing the stock journals also, or store issue or any entries, whatever you made, that also it is showing in my stock summary. I want only the purchase and the sales and opening and closing alone. If you want to see means, so here in the stock summary, press Alt F12, or you can see there is a right side button near the configuration. There is a button called range. This will filter the specific group or item over here. And if you press the value, if you press control F12, so if you press control F12, I'm saying I don't want the voucher type name not containing stock journal. So if you select here, so it will list out my report without including any stock journal entry. So in my stock summary, if you want a report without mentioning stock journal, you want to filter it, means press Control F12 and give this condition: voucher type name not containing specific voucher type. So it will filter it. Without that particular stock journal, it will show you the report. And this is one method. So normal stock summary, you can filter without it. The same way you can give for location wise summary also. If you go to statements of inventory and you say, say inventory books, and if you say locations and you select primary, and here also I don't want without stock journal, means you can press Control F12 and put the same condition: voucher type name not containing stock journal. So this will give you, without that stock journal, it will show the same report. Then next report, the next option is highest sales quantity by value or in the movement analysis. That means when you're taking a movement analysis, many of them have seen what is the movement analysis. No difference between stock summary and movement analysis is stock summary will show you opening stock, what is the closing stock, what does it come inward and what is gone outward. But the movement analysis will show you a different way. That means for a specific group or inward, I am selecting a finished group. See here, this will show you what is your items inward and outward only, not just opening or closing. This is the actual entries based on your stock journals, manufacturing journals, and what is your purchase entry, and based on the sales, and it will take a total of that particular group's items list. For example, I am selecting the bag for particular product. If I see one item, so I made a manufacturing journal and by and it's a purchase rate. Sorry, selling I made. Based on that, it will take a inward and outward column. Okay, from this report, I am taking an item wise. If I want to see the highest sales from this here itself, means press F12, and here you can see the sorting method in the last. If you want take by quantity only, means you press quantity only. So quantity alone it will come. I don't want inward. I am taking only outward. Okay, this one in this report, if I go to F12, there is an option called sorting method, and I press, which is in quantity wise decreasing. So we can see highest, what is the item sold to the lowest. So it is these are the highest number of quantities sold based on it. From highest to lowest, it will show. Again, I'm coming out. I'm selecting material finish. I press inward, no, and I'll give value no. I give no. Wait for that. And press F12 and give, and my sorting method as quantity wise. Increasing means lowest to highest, and in decreasing means highest to lowest it will show. Then this movement analysis will show you this report. The same report you can, sorting method you can do on stock summary also, which is the highest and which is the lowest, we can see. This is group wise analysis, and the same way by item wise analysis. And we have item wise aging analysis also. If you take aging analysis, select a specific item and one particular item, in how many days it is, and in our stock for how many days. So in how many days, 90 days or 120 days, you can see how many that particular group items or how many days in our stock it will show here. This aging periods, we can change it like if you press aging, instead of 90, I want 30, 60, 90. Also, you can see how many days it is in our stock. So I am taking aging periods like 90, 120, 150, 180. So age wise, how many days now it is in our stock, we can show. This is aging analysis. And we have negative stock report also. So normally we see in stock summary what are the stocks are negative, but only negative stock which is in a stock we have to see means go to display, exception report, negative stock report is there. So here it will show what are the items only negative stock it will show here. So we can see that in the display, exception report and negative stock. So far I have given what are the MIS reports other than default tally in the new. You can see, I can show you. You have any doubts, you can tell me so I can proceed with the other point.